Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone and anyone out there. My name is Brian Von VA, and today we're going to be talking about what players, yes you, all of you, or most of you, can do to make sure that your DM has just as much fun as they try to let you have. Leave your ideas down in the comments below. Engage with the setting. Try to tailor your character to one that fits into whatever setting they're using. That not only shows you actually care about making a good story with your group, it makes it easier for your GM to tailor specific story elements to your character. Actually talk to the NPCs that your GM puts in your path like a normal person would. A lot of players just like to troll the NPCs and either pickpocket them or beat them up and mug them the first chance they get, or the bard tries to sleep with them, which I would not recommend as the farmer's wife will kill you. Now it's funny exactly one time, but after a while your GM is going to be like, hey, why do I bother? Lastly, just have fun. Good GMs work hard to craft an experience their players are going to enjoy. When their players are having fun, so are they. Engage in the plot hooks. Don't make the DM fight you just to get the story moving. Know your character sheet. Be ready to act when your turn comes up. Let her know if you had a good time. A little positive feedback can keep a GM humming along happily for quite a while. Be on time, and if you can't, communicate that in a timely way. Get into your character. Make your interactions memorable. Get into the world. Have an emotional reaction to the things within it. Some GMs spend a lot of time world building, and we hate to see our work ignored. Same with the NPCs. NPCs are the GM's chance to do some role-playing, and tabletop NPCs are so much more than the scripted quest or loot generators that you see in MMO games. Now get out there and roll some dice, compadres. Don't add to your DM's work. When the DM is talking, listen. Although some DMs talk to hear themselves, most are trying to help you. They worked hard to get you this far. Don't make it wasted work. Add to the narrative. D&D is often called collaborative storytelling. It's never referred to as novel. The DM is only one of the storytellers at the table. Take the DM's prompts and run with them. Offer to help, printing or painting minis. Run an NPC. Manage the map. Host the game at your house. Pay for things. DMing can get expensive, so grab some snacks, buy some map packs, buy D&D Beyond or Roll20 content. And hey, if we ever get a sponsor that's going to be really good for this channel, we're going to let you, yes you, the listener, know exactly what we do and what we roll with. Because we're not going to sit there and just do it for money. If we don't believe in the product, it ain't going on here, baby. There are a lot of things that can apply to all games. Don't just argue with the GM. Don't be that guy who says, it's what my character would do, to justify just being an asshole. Don't try to derail the game just because it's how you get your pathetic little jollies. Honestly, if that's your idea of fun, just leave the table before you piss everyone else off and ruin the game for everyone else. Don't metagame if you know what comes next in a canned or planned module, or if you know something that your character might not. Pay attention, by the way. Know your character. Don't take a nap or let your widgets distract you. Don't eat Cheetos or Doritos and then paw the GM's books with nuclear orange fingers. And above all else, don't think that you're there to win. That's a lot of don'ts, by the way. Now let me give you some do's. Do work with your GM. I love it when players discuss session minus stuff with me even before the group has their first official session 0. If you've got an idea, run it past me. I might put on my Dr. No lab coat, but I'll ask, okay, what are you trying to do? If you work with me, I'll work with you. Do bring a backstory. Bring a face claim too. And bring a leitmotif for your character. Contribute, but more on that later. And, of course, bring dice. Also, if the GM asks, are you sure? Take that warning to heart. Something too many players don't understand is that they don't have a job at the table. They're there to play, not work. The GM is the only one working at that table, even if all they're doing is stumbling through a store-bought module. And if your DM is running a homebrewed adventure, understand that you're getting something no one else will probably ever get. As a GM who does a lot of home-built worlds, if you get a character creation document or 20 pages of lore from me, please read it. If you blow it off, you're basically blowing me off. If I tell you that something isn't part of the world, don't sulk. It's fine to ask why, but not to assume that you can force your pet race or subclass into my world. Don't assume everything you think you know from Canon 5th edition is true. Give you one guess as to why a bank spanning 24 realms on 3 continents is called the Red Dragon Consortium. But I will ask you for help with it. Let's just say, for example, that you're all level 1 characters in a city, starting off working market security on the Merchant's Green. It's by the main gates to the town, and you're getting paid 3 hots, which is actually chits, and a cot, and 3 coppers a day to start. This location is easy to find. Cook's Row and Baker Street are 2 of the 3 streets along the green. I'll tell you who some of the bakers and food shops are, but I leave the room for the players to come up with their own ideas for what's there as well, even if you only have a name and what their reputation is. Or maybe you can tell me about that rogue pie and pastry shop down by the river docks. You know, the only one in that part of town. Or the rumors about how information can be bought, sold, and bartered there, and why they accept the standards of the Cooks Guild but aren't a member. Not quite what I asked for, but you went above and beyond, and oh boy, I can work with that. If I ask someone, for example, to tell me the connection between the Society for Gentlemanly Adventurers and their patron, do me a solid and give me a good story to build on. It doesn't have to be anything super spectacular, of course, but a good one-liner to build on gives me a head start. Something like, "This society has been in existence for only a few years, with only a single society house when its members found an infant godling, not part of any known pantheon, crying in the woods. The infant was raised by the society, and is now the patron of adventurers, pilgrims, and orphans, and is accepted by, but is not one, of the local gods." Meanwhile, someone else might tell me about the playhouse or the facilities at the Merchants Guild Hall. Sure, I might not use all of it, not all of my players' ideas will fit my world, you know, but the ones that do help make it a better world overall. And then, it's not just my world anymore. It's our world. You want to impress me when I'm setting up a new world, then the biggest thing you can do is contribute. This kind of help with world building, so long as it's consistent with the world, and you accept that I might veto something that doesn't fit, you know what? You're gonna make me a very happy DM. And this is actually very true. The more that you actually try to embrace the world that your DM has painstakingly taken the time to build by contributing ideas to it, staying on track, and overall role-playing your character so they can see the world that they've built through your eyes, which you otherwise can't see, that's going to help so much when it comes to truly creating even more memorable moments, places, and memories. Now, take care of the session logistics. For example, bring some snacks and drinks, help set up and clean up. If you can, host a session on a rotating basis. You can also help with the campaign details. You know the party will be traveling by boat, right? Well, perhaps you could do some online research, get a few deck plans for boats and ships, provide them to the DM well before the next session. They may not be used for your boat, but he might appreciate having a set of deck plans for the random encounter with a merchant, pirate, or patrol boat. Keep up a shared narrative log. Get your favorite file sharing platform going. I use Google Drive for this, and have a running text file that keeps track of all the stuff that happens every session. A ring that was picked up? The name of the barmaid? Share this file with your fellow players and encourage them to help keep it up to date. You can even share it with the DM and ask him, her, they, or them, I'm including everybody here because at MrRipper we love you all, to correct errors in what the players wrote versus what the characters know. If you need to know something in depth and detail, don't demand it from the DM. Do the research and write up the draft for their review and approval. Backstories, place descriptions, calendars for the lizardmen, legend and lore that is not clearly defined in the campaign. Fill in the gaps and push the edges of what is presented at the table and give it to the DM for review and inclusion, if it fits. And lastly, please, 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 don't be that guy. Know all there is to know about what your character can do. And be prepared to say it clearly and succinctly. If you don't know what that means, by the way, that's not a term that we typically use these days. It means in brief and clearly expressed manner. There you go. When you are called in on combat. Know all there is to know about your fellow player character's abilities and gently prompt them about that secondary effect that the action they have chosen has. Help avoid the missed rules and needs for retcons because someone forgot about a saving throw that changes how much damage the big bad evil guy would take. Offer the DM your knowledge of the rules, but remember that the final rule maker at the table is ultimately the DM. Give it a rest after you've had your 30 seconds to present your view. There you go. Any player who is ticking all those boxes will be a valued player in every group. What more does a DM need to be happy? I would say stuffed crust pizza, but that also might give me some stomach acid too, so please bring some Tums with you as well. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and at the very, very bottom where you see those little comment boxes, let us know what you can do as a player to help make your DM have some fun and just kind of ease the burden overall for them. We love you all. Please be safe, be happy, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.